sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Coleman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Shorty. Great. Ram.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with the new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. He's going to loft one deep, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score, and the Eagles have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The numbers for Mixon last week, 22 carries, 104 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
He finds Coleman. Escapes the defender. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll give it to Mixon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end... Oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Wins to throw on second down. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. The 20, 10, 5, and they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run, 68 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the grab by Croft. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This is Coleman with a grab. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
good locker room, and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them, and if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big 3rd down play there for the Bengals. 41 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
And he is caught at the 7-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Green 39. Green 39.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
3-19.
He'll drop to throw to Mixon on the check down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Here's a run with Mixon. And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now a look at Kiki QT as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back to throw here. Dumps it off to Mixon. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Here we go now. 3.
They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Down the man.
Wentz now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past overthrew guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong,
Here we go.
that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
To throw, it's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have it perfect.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. They'll throw now on the final play. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, Butt. Great 15, great 15.
On second down, here's Wentz. Throw left side, complete to QT. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You got it.
On third down, it's Meyer, and he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Now Wentz over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll take it all the way out near the 30-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now let's go. Blue line.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That catch good for 5. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Out of the gun now on third down. Over the middle, complete. That's Chandler. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. They'll set up to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead.
And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Chandler. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And it's been a good game for him to this. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the grab by Croft. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He'll look to throw. Pass incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go. Blue, land it. Blue.
They'll look to throw here. He finds Coleman. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will get them one closer. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now we'll look at Kiki QT as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Hey, other side, solid, solid.
Right back to him on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Shorty, shorty. 74, 74.
Wentz to throw. Forced out to his left. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.